Yes. Nope. Still boring. Hey everybody, this is Clay. I'm going to be your host for the next couple runs today. We have Spark the Electric Jester 3 coming up in just a moment here. That's going to be with Shovelclaws, who you may have heard doing commentary for Helix's Sonic Frontiers run earlier today. While we have a minute, I have a couple of donations to read here. First, we have $100 from Blonde Kavon, who says, "Great event for a great cause. Trans lives matter." Thank you so much for that very generous donation. We also have $1 from Zoe Potato, who says, "GGWP Argic, great game." Cannot agree more. And then lastly, we have $6 from One Up Shy Guy, who says, "As a Texan, I certainly respect rights, and say it with me, trans rights are human rights." Correct. Could not say it any better. Thank you so much for your donations. And I think, just going to double check here. But yeah, with that, we have met the Proto Man helmet incentive for Mega Man 2, the Power Fighters, a little later today with Bratterfield. So look forward to that. Thank you very much for your donations. That means we're going to be opening another donation incentive in just a moment here. So we have a Metroid Prime small Samus randomizer later today by the Ginger Chris, which is going to be really fun. This next incentive, if we meet it, will enable random boss sizes for all the bosses in the game, which will be pretty chaotic. So to hit that, we are going to need to hit a total of $300. That's going to open in just a moment, so hang tight with me for just a sec. But that will be opening very shortly. So let's make it happen. All right, and that should be officially open now. And again, thank you all for your very generous donations so far. All right, everybody. We are officially ready for Spark the Electric Jester 3 by shovelclaws. Shovelclaws, please take it away and good luck.
Hello everyone, my name is shovelclaws. Welcome to Spark the Electric Jester 3. I'm very, very excited for what is, in my opinion, the best speedrun of all time. You guys are going to see it, and a little bit extra, because this is all levels. You guys met that all levels incentive. Thank you so much. You guys are going to see some of the cool route changes, some techniques you wouldn't see otherwise, so I'm very excited for this. Joining me, I have a commentator for the first time, and Jesus, so long. I don't run with commentators typically.
Pretty good.
Hello, Jedi.
I'm also a runner for this game. I mostly just do ILs, and looking forward to watching this run and helping commentate with it.
Yeah, so quick story context. We'll keep it short and brief, but basically there's a robotic militia called the Fark Force that Spark is mad at because they turned off the internet. So instead of like waiting for the internet to be turned back on, he decides, we're gonna overthrow this thing. Which, granted, Spark has done it before, so maybe he's the best one to do it. But yeah, no, he's just an impatient little dude. You can see him right here, but we'll meet him in a little bit. Shout out to the Spark plushie. Otherwise, timing will start as I click yes here. We swap over to Easy Jester because it's faster. We'll get into that. But otherwise, keep platforming difficulty on normal because that gives us the most control. And with that, ready to go. So time will start in 3, 2, 1. Go. Alright. So, first and foremost, we have every game has their iconic first stage where, Mario has 1-1, Sonic City Escape, and, Green Hill. We have Race Car. This game might not open how you expect, but, Spark's a high-speed 3D platformer, so best to open up with a car, because how can you go much faster than that? It's actually very easy. Spark is just faster than the car. But otherwise, the car's control is very simple. We have a little boost, we can drift. So we drift these corners and try to keep our speed up around 325, 350, somewhere between that range if we can. These batteries refill that little yellow boost gauge. And otherwise, we just don't want to crash. So, I don't know, there's not much else to talk about. So we can talk some about Spark's moveset in the meantime, because this stage closes out with a little platformer segment. Also, hold on, wait, this enemy's gonna die, and, yeah, no, it stops the music. Shout out to the banging music in this game. And we're gonna crash. Never mind. No, we did. Okay, that's fine. But yeah, Spark has pretty basic platformer moves. He has a little dash that dashes him forward that he can also use mid-air for a little bit of extra air distance. He can charge that up using a different command called a charge jester dash. And he can otherwise jump, double jump, all that good stuff. You'll see it all here as Spark exits his little car, finally decides to greet us. Striking resemblance to the plushie, but we're gonna just jump up and go to the goal. And you can see right away, this game wears its inspirations on its sleeve. It's pretty Sonic inspired. I think it gets a lot of unfair comparisons, so I'm gonna keep them to a minimum. But that was Alpine Carrera. Pretty non-standard first stage, but all good. Not fun nonetheless. And we're gonna load into Double Moon Villa, which in any percent is quite a bit different than what you might see should you IL this stage or play New Game Plus, because we don't have any of Spark's special abilities. So those abilities we have to unlock through the usage of the in-game shop. It doesn't take real money, it takes bits. These little yellow dodecahedrons that we're gonna try our best to collect throughout this stage. So we have two goals: collect 850 bits, and then, of course, get to the stage's ending as fast as possible. We'll be doing that all along the way here. But otherwise, you've been introduced to some of our speed tech, at least some of the bread and butter speed tech. You'll see right there, going very fast. That is a magnet dash. Magnet dashes are pretty straightforward. All you need to do is do a homing attack and then do the air dash afterwards. And then you'll get sent flying, just like that. So that was just me pressing B and then the right trigger for an air dash right after. That gives Spark a little bit of speed, and you'll see just how fast you can go right here, at least if I do it right. There we go. That worked. It was not what I was hoping for, but you know, it's fine. Double Moon can be pretty unpredictable, just like that. I did not realize that I didn't have my dash. Additionally, you've been introduced to the Exhausted Magnet Dash, which is a variant of the Magnet Dash, where we can now use our facing angle. So you'll see I'm going to come underneath this enemy, use my single air dash that refreshes whenever I touch the ground. And since I have no more air dashes, Spark won't go just straight forward, he'll actually keep his angle. You'll see it again here, and I bounced off the top, that's fine. Do a Magnet Dash off that enemy, and hit the tree, and go flying. It's all good. We have some extra bits here as well, so we're just gonna run into the goal, and that's Double Moon Villa. That stage is really cool as an IL. Jedi has the world record. He took it from me after I got it. I hate you.
It took a lot of tries to get that, but...
It's a really hard
it's
IL.
just many Magnet Dashes in a row.
It's
and also
really cool.
Hyper Dashes, which I'm sure will be explained later.
Yeah, we'll get into it actually just right now, because the route I take does just the Jester Dash tutorial immediately. So we're gonna hop into the shop and pick up the Energy Dash here. The Energy Dash is what allows us to do that hyper dashing that Jedi just mentioned. But Energy Dash as a power-up is pretty straightforward. We have an energy meter that will be in the top right, or top left, I know my directions. That energy meter allows us to do certain special moves, and one of those is the Energy Dash we just picked up. The Energy Dash uses 1 bar of energy, and we can do some pretty fun stuff with it. You know how Magnet Dashing is interrupting a homing attack with an air dash? Well, you kind of saw it right there. We might need to, you know, do a little bit of recovery, but that's fine. All good. You saw it right there. A hyper dash is when you interrupt a homing attack with instead an energy dash. That is the biggest tech in this game. It breaks this game wide open. It basically turns Spark into a helicopter, and you'll hopefully see that throughout some of these stages. I'm very excited. Once we get into the game, you'll see it plenty. Here on this slope jumping tutorial, which just tells you that you can use slopes to jump higher, we can talk some about the other upgrades we bought in the shop there. We didn't just use that 800 to buy the 100 upgrade, 100 cost upgrade. We actually did buy 2 other things, the Jester Swipe and the Finger Gun. First and foremost, the Finger Gun just kind of replaces the homing attack for us most of the time, at least if we want to kill an enemy while driving by, because otherwise, we'd stop all our momentum. Finger Gun just kind of stops that. It also has some uses a bit later, which, you know, we'll get into that whenever we see it. And then the Jester Swipe. The Jester Swipe is pretty straightforward as well. And we'll see it here used in high-rise tracks. One of my favorite stages. I don't know how you feel about this stage, Jedi,
I haven't run it that much.
I love this stage.
A few times I did. It was a little bit painful, but I also was trying to do the IL route, not the 80% route. So...
Well, for what it's worth, yeah, the IL route is kind of rough.
yeah.
But the Jester Swipe is where if you see a bit of tripping over my words because I missed that hyper dash. It's fine. If you see a trail of bits, you can actually do that kind of. You can press the B button and you'll whip across them. This has been a terrible high-rise tracks, but all good. And whatever, we hit the goal, that's the important part. So, we're gonna go ahead and complete the stage. And then we'll hop into our first stage of variant. You'll notice Double Moon has now unlocked a bunch of different stages. We skipped over the animation of that, but we do have a bunch of optional side stages, and that's where any percent kind of diverges from all levels, which is the category we're playing today. In any percent, you can skip 6 of these. In all levels, you of course have to do all of them. So you'll be seeing all that Spark has to offer as I, you know, missed that jump. All good. So, this is an escape stage called Dry Desert, and I personally hate this stage, and you can kind of see why. Man, I am just hitting everything. All good, though. we'll be able to just fly on over. Well, then hit the smallest obstacle in existence. It's fine. It's whatever. Yeah, no, the IL strat on that stage sucks.
I've actually been trying to hit it pretty recently. It's painful, but it's very funny in my opinion. Basically, you just run in between the tracks the entire time, which sounds easy, but it is a very tight space. And hitting even the tiniest corner of it, you absolutely just fly off and lose all your speed. So it's very difficult.
Yeah, no, it sucks. Yeah, here in the Charge Jester Dash tutorial, I want to introduce dash jumping, which is essentially just doing an air dash before jump, which gives you a tiny little bit of extra height. We used it to clear one of those jumps behind us. We're going to use it again in this stage because Jedi, I don't know if you've seen this strat, but it's faster, smiley face. If I could not hit the wall. Well, hold up. We're going to restart from checkpoint. Man, that's unfortunate. Sometimes this is just how Spark 3 goes, but we're gonna come up here, dash jump twice, boom, and hit the spring. That is faster, I promise. Smiley face. But otherwise, we're gonna just charge up dashes, hop on up to the goal. You can hit the goal while sliding up, all cool. And then we'll hop into AM Village, which is another one of our stage variants. You may be wondering why we need to complete all these stages. Why can't we just go to the next main one? It's because of Freedom Medals. Freedom Medals actually unlock the next stage that we need to get to, so we need to get those first. And you get them by clearing stages. Any percent, it's a much bigger deal. We route in the fastest stages. All levels, we have to play them all anyway, so we just do what's fastest. But AM Village is pretty simple, pretty straightforward. We're aiming for 500 bits in this stage while we collect these blue coins. These blue coins, well, we need 10 of them, and they're scattered all over the map. So we're just gonna take some fast routes while collecting them, while picking up some bits. Please hit the coin, thank you. Not like that. Alright. I believe I might be able to skip a few of the slow ones, just because we did have a lot of bits already. We're gonna do a hyper dash off that, just to fly it forward. And then collect some of the extras over here, because I definitely shouldn't have skipped one of them. I'm getting hard punished, but it's okay. I really need 4 more. Come on. Thank you for exactly 4. I shouldn't have skipped one of them. That was a mistake.
You're always behind
oh well.
Bits. You can never skip them.
But never skip them. That is true. I've learned this lesson plenty of times, and yet I still try. One last time, we're gonna hop into the shop, and this will be the last time for quite a while. But we're gonna buy the rail boost, and then hop into our first boss stage. Have I mentioned that this game has Devil May Cry style combat? I don't think I have. Yeah, no, this game literally has like the sickest combat of any 3D platformer you've ever seen. So you can parry enemy attacks, and then you have light and heavy attacks, and our goal is to get that combo meter at the top left up to 1.9 times. And you can also dash to cancel certain slower moves, and then we have the little charge shot, which we'll be using every now and then. And you saw man there getting absolutely decimated, and actually pretty okay first phase. I'm not very good at the combat. Current world record holder is literally an Evo champion, so they're amazing at the combat. And I'm not lying about that. They actually have won an Evo main line tournament. Shout out to Squish. But yeah, that was actually a really good Sawman, a 35. I'll take that. But yeah, no, that's how combat goes. It's fun, smiley face. And Jedi, would you like to explain what's going to happen in Lost Riviera as I actually focus on playing the game for once?
So this stage is arguably one of the hardest stages in the game. I am terrible at it, but I've been trying to get better. But essentially, the stage has lots and lots of rails, a very long stage. It looks pretty familiar to any Sonic fans, like a rail camel, basically. But there's lots of these bit bubbles that you can use to basically skip all of the rails. And the IL route uses a lot more of them than you would in any percent, because it's simply just way too inconsistent to do that for a run. But you can just, as it's doing right now, just skip this entire part of the stage. and just fly over all of these rails using these hyper dashes. And yeah, it's a pretty rough stage.
We're gonna do it right here. Yeah, no, this is a big reset point. Additionally, we've swapped our difficulty over to Challenge Jester, if you'd like to explain that as well.
At the end of this stage, and also one of the other stages that we'll play a little bit after this, there is a boss fight that you do not actually have to win. So we switched to Challenge Jester to give you the minimum health possible so that you can just sit there and take the attacks and die, because that's faster.
Yep. It's a very funny strat. Otherwise, we're just gonna hop on over. One last mechanic we haven't explained yet is rail boosting and regen braking, if you'd like to tackle that as we come up on the end nearby-ish,
so basically,
kind of.
Rail boosting is essentially just holding a button and going faster on rails using your energy, and then the regen braking is slowing down a little bit to regain that energy. But the trick is, if you go really fast, braking does not lose much speed, so you can kind of just have infinite energy for infinite boost on rails as long as you're going fast enough. And maintaining that balance is a little tricky, but once you get used to it, it's not too bad. But it's very useful for just flying through rails.
Yeah, no, this level is personally, I find, very fun, because it's a ton of hyper dashes, and I was kind of the person that forced everyone to learn hyper dashes in order to be competitive in any percent, because I yelled this game a lot before getting into runs, and I already figured out how to be consistent at hyper dashes. Also, that was a really good Lost Riviera for a marathon. Holy, I'll take a 202 very happily. My gold in that stage is a 2 minute, so I played 2 seconds within my gold. IL world record on that stage is also by me. It's 128. That shit is hard. God, it's rough. And you saw the Guardian there. We skipped him by dying, so sorry, Spark. And otherwise, just gonna let all these stages open on up. We have the wall jumping tutorial, which we'll use more jump dashes, or dash jumps. Jesus, I can speak, I promise, in this stage. Also, a great reminder to switch off from Challenge Jester. Please remind me to do that before we leave to enter District 6, by the way, smiley face. I literally have a sticky note on my monitor to remind me to swap to Challenge Jester, because I forgot it a lot when I was first running any percent. I still forget it from time to time. It's pretty rough. But wall walking, I don't know why this stage is called wall walking, because it's not. There's a really fast strat on here that I still don't really understand. I should probably learn it, but I'm going to try my best to show off the much harder, needlessly harder strat, and it's not going that well.
The only main difference is you don't really stop that much, because that one part you can kind of go over the wall and you keep your speed, but otherwise it's the same route as you would do normally. Mm-hmm. You can also skip the very last corner, but that part's a little bit harder to get consistently, because a lot of times you'll just lose all your speed and be slower than the normal route.
Yeah, it's still faster to come on over and charge a dash and jump past that wall, because that wall curves around like an S shape.
Yeah.
It's very long. You can get really fast at it, but it's just faster to go have the straight line. And next we have Arid Hole, which is another coin collection stage. I'm gonna throw in a little bit of the bit route. There's a bit route here which we thought about a long time, just to maybe one day throw in some extra upgrades. Thankfully, in all levels, you'll see those upgrades anyways because of some route stuff that we'll explain when we get near the end of the run. But otherwise, this is probably a great time for a quick donation, because I'm just going to zoom around some.
Alright, perfect. I do have a couple quick donations. We have $20 from Gorchik, who sends a heart. Thank you very much. And then we have $20 from Holy Mujo, who has no comment, but thank you for your donation. And real quick, just a quick announcement, that Metroid Prime incentive for the randomizer later, that was for random boss sizes, accidentally was not open, so my apologies for that. It is good now. And we also have our first milestone incentive, which if we hit a grand total of $750 raised, we will be seeing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Wave 4 by Peas S&B later today. So get your donations in for that.
Yes. Get that Peas run. I'm a big Peas fan. Peas is a homie. Anyways, now we have Splash Grotto, which, if done correctly, is one of the fastest stages in the game. If not, it sucks. God, I hate messing up this stage. So we're gonna hope it goes well. This is a big rail grinding stage. We're gonna regen break in smart places. One other mechanic we haven't really touched on is crouching. If you press the X button, also I'm sad. Never mind, I kind of saved that. If you press the X button while going downhill on a rail, you'll gain speed, which it's just that simple. We're gonna magnet dash off you and then Jester swipe on that little trail of bits. Good lord, I'm going too fast to think right now. But you can see immediately, whew, we are going quite speedy, quite fast. I'll take a 36. So good when you hit it. It's so good. There was a long time ago. There was an IL dunking contest trying to get the record on that. It was really fun. I think that was actually you, if I'm not mistaken, but I don't remember.
I do currently have it. At that time, I don't remember who ended up with it when everyone was running the stage.
Yeah. And then after that, you know, speed fest of a level, we have the high speeds tutorial, which
is quite slow.
Yeah, no, it's quite ironic. I find it funny. But yeah, no, we're just gonna try to keep on the ground using down dashes. Down dashes are where you hold the L button and the A button, or press the A button, and Spark will dash down. You can do this an infinite number of times, and you'll see that it gets quite useful quite quickly. We've already used it quite a lot, in all honesty. It's a quick way to just transfer your speed downwards. Otherwise, this is the one fast part of high speeds. Woo! Alright. And following this, we're gonna skip a few levels, which I know this is an all levels run. We'll get back to them eventually. But it's faster right now to skip the levels because we're missing a few abilities. In the meantime, we're gonna play District 5 here, which you might also recognize if you're a Sonic fan. I don't know. We're gonna swap over to Challenge Jester though, and this stage quite recently had a big time save. It's been a little bit now, so I don't know if I can say recently, but quite recently. So this is a great time to talk about gravity clips as I go through this stage, if you'd like to explain them, Jedi.
Gravity clip is essentially just a glitch, where if you are on a sloped ceiling, you can kind of...
I'm back at the beginning. I'm gonna restart the stage.
And essentially the way it works is when you stop moving, your gravity switches from kind of like sticking to the ceiling to falling. And right when you do that, you can kind of just clip through the ceiling because your hitbox is not entirely below the ceiling anymore. So that can be used to skip in a lot of places in this game. And this one is one of the more interesting skips and also saves a lot of time, almost a minute, or actually more than a minute usually.
Yes. Yeah, no, you can take this stage as low as 135 with this skip. There's a skip that we can do in New Game Plus, but we can't do it in any percent because it requires a certain ability, and you'll see that ability later on in this run. Can I please? Thank you. You have to... I've been having trouble connecting to this wall recently, and I don't know why. Thankfully, there's a checkpoint right before, I think, so we'll be fine, but yeah, I don't know why that happens now. It's very annoying. It's fine. But yeah, no, this skip essentially skips half of the stage, and so we're gonna run up this wall, and when we get up top, we're gonna hop on through, and this is near the end of the stage, and we're just gonna you know, get a little bit of extra energy. We're gonna hop on by, and we want to use this extra energy for something, so we wanna boom that as a hyper dash off an enemy. Fun fact, you can hyper dash off enemies. Then come on down. We're now in what is essentially just the forest being purged. This part is really hard to play because you have a bunch of cycles that you have to kind of make. You can see these rotating ships, that moving fire. We also want to have some energy at the ending here. Okay, cool. That makes this next part a little bit scary, but we just have this little auto-scroller, and we skip all other 3 instances of this little pulley in this stage, and you won't see them except for this, and way later in the run. I mean, like, you know, an hour from now. We don't see them for quite a while. Yeah, just into the goal. 2:19 plus that 20-second mistake. I'll take it. It's fine. That stage is like 3 minutes and 30 seconds without that one skip, so we saved a minute. It is rough. I'm actually very happy that skip got found, because for a long time we tried to route in that one upgrade where we can make that stage literally 40 seconds. Didn't work, so, you know. Unfortunate, but is whatever. Because now we have that. And, I remembered to swap from Challenge Jester, thank God. We have a bunch of stages to go unlock now, and we're only going to play one of them, because the rest are things we're going to come back to. District 6 is my favorite stage in this district, because it's very fast. So we're going to come over, hit this little energy bubble. Those blue bubbles, by the way, give you energy. I don't know if we've discussed that, but it allows you to do stuff like this. Never mind. The goal there is to get a hyper dash off that little bubble, and it allows you to skip all the way to the end. Thankfully, we have a backup right here. And you can see this little area is what we're aiming for. IL record on that stage is 9 seconds and 0.1 milliseconds. I don't know how I did that. It was a mistake. I legit don't understand. I rewatch that video from time to time, and I don't get it. I don't understand.
Because essentially, that first hyperdash, if you barely hit the tree, you'll just go up instead of forward, and then there just happens to be another bit that you can hyperdash off of there, and it just saves a few seconds. Never thought of that.
Yeah, no, it's wild. I was using it as a backup while grinding for the actual IL strat, and then it was faster. We're going to restart from checkpoint as we go through one of my favorite levels once again. This is Downtown Descent. The last level was called Protest Prison, which you need somewhere to get all those protesters. This is it. This is Protest City, and we're going to fly over all of it. This route was developed mostly by me. A few people have kind of made their own different variants, but when I first started playing Any Percent, this stage did not have a route. We kind of just played the stage casually, but like fast. And I came in and I was like, that's boring. We should do like cool stuff instead. So I came in and did this, which I'm sorry, every 100% runner, because now this is like a pretty big reset point if you don't get a good stage. You can see it's a lot of hyper dashes, a lot of curving and going ground kill planes, because those big X walls, if you go past them, will kill you. You know, as walls try to do. Otherwise, we're just gonna keep on going. Come hit this blue bubble and hyper dash off of this. Well, never mind. We're gonna come on over to here because there's a nice little backup right here. And we didn't hit it. Cool.
I think there's lots of backups on this stage.
There we go. Yeah, there are. Thankfully, we don't have to worry too much about not hitting something, because there are a lot of bit bubbles in this stage, which means that there are plenty of opportunities for us to hyperdash. Hit that little checkpoint, and now we're in a ship. Spark likes to throw vehicles at you, and this spaceship is pretty simple. We can dash using the left bumper and shoot using the right. And then go up and down, and we want to collect some extra bits. Why not? So, at the end of this stage, we have this guy. This guy's supposed to be a mini-boss, but I think the developer of this game might have messed up a little bit.
favorite skips.
Yeah, that skip's just really funny. And honestly, I'll take a 221. That was a pretty decent run. Only one missed hyper dash and restarting at the beginning. I'll take it. But Protest City is actually the shortest district in the game, and in any percent, we do all of the stages in it. So we're gonna go through Strike Sewers. Strike Sewers is supposed to be a ship level where we ride the whole thing in this little ship, destroy a lot of enemies. Instead, we're gonna come over to this tunnel and wedge ourselves right out of bounds. This is a really unique strat. We don't have many out-of-bounds strats, and none of them use a vehicle, so, you know, I love this strat, because we're going to take the ship out of bounds and then just fly to the end of the stage. And if you are playing this well, you will have collected a bunch of energy, so you can just use the energy dash to go straight to the end, just like that. Also, shout out to Protest City's music. That guitar is so good. It's this entire game has phenomenal music. It's great. Go listen to the soundtrack. I'm a shill it. Here we have another. Here we have Squabble City, which is another one of our coin collection stages, and this is a great example of how down dashing twice is actually a lot faster than doing it once, because there we have to go all the way down to the end of the stage here. I need you, thank you. Cool. And you can see just how fast Spark plummets to the ground if we down dash twice. Otherwise, this stage, pretty straightforward. We do turn around immediately at the beginning to collect a coin, which is very funny, because most people didn't know about that until I told them, because I rerouted this stage a little bit. It was humorous. It was quite funny. It avoids one very annoying coin.
Right in plain sight behind you.
Yeah, no, it's like the only thing that's really just straight behind you in those stages. It's very funny. And here's a stage that yesterday mistreated me pretty hard. We'll see if it goes a bit better here. We're going to immediately die. Immediately die is what I was going to say. We're going to immediately turn to our left and hit this energy bubble. That'll fill us right on up, and we can hyper dash, and that's not enough height, so we're going to restart the stage. We'll see if we get it one more try. If we don't, I'll do the backup. But yeah, no, this stage, it sucks to lose time on. There we go. Yeah, so hyper dash right on up, and this stage actually has a lot of mandatory combat that we just skipped. Thank God, because mandatory combat in this game is hard to get through. It's very, very slow. And we'll see plenty of those mandatory combat skips later on as well. Up next we have Roadway Rally, which, very funny stage. There's a car in front of us when we spawn in. We're gonna ignore it. And collect first this little energy capsule that'll give us a little bit of energy. And then we're gonna magnet dash off you. And then we're going to run across the road, because coming up, we have a trail of bits. I got there. And then hop on over to you, which I might have just died. It's fine. I might be able to recover this. Never mind. And we'll just restart from checkpoint, which is the beginning of the stage. What is happening? It's okay. We'll do that one more time. Run across the road some. And then we'll do that properly this time, where we run up this wall, and this X wall has collision, so we can run on up it. At the end of this wall is actually nothing. We can just zoom on up it, and boom, we're gonna energy dash right across, and then come over to this roof. We're gonna charge an energy dash there, or a charge Jester dash there, and we're gonna walk on over to the other side of the stage with the goal. That was basically a lot of out-of-bounds stuff that doesn't look like out-of-bounds, because we jumped over an invisible wall, so, you know. That one restart kind of ruined it, but oh well, that's fine, no biggie. We got the stage done, and that's what's most important. Next up is On the Run, if you wanna take a stab at this
stage,
Jedi.
We are back in this plane, back in the spaceship, and you're just fighting this police spacecraft thing. It's very interesting game mechanic that we don't really see anywhere else because we just skip the other instances we do this, mainly in Combat Descent. But essentially, you just have to break all of these orbs, and then it transitions to another fight where we unlock this new character, Float, which has lots of story significance, we'll maybe see later. But essentially, her combat is somewhat different than Sparks, and she also has... Yeah, she has a katana. And she also gives you this ability called Float Mark, which we do not actually see in this fight. Or Face Mark, sorry.
Face Mark, I think.
Essentially, after hitting an enemy a certain number of times, a face will appear if you have Float equipped, not actually in use, but just equipped. And you'll do more damage when that appears. Additionally, sometimes we do use Float for platforming because she, well, floats, so you can get more distance when you're flying through the air.
Yeah, so there's absolutely no reason to not just immediately pick her up because she costs 1 bit. Might as well. And then we just immediately equip her for that combat bonus because the face mark is actually one of the big reasons we wait on playing some of those stages we skipped before, because that face mark is huge in combat. It's actually massive. And here we have nighttime phenomena in Historia Hysteria, one of my favorite districts because listen to it. Jeez, this stage's music goes absolutely banging. It's great. And here we're gonna do a pretty massive skip. We're gonna hope that I get it first try. We're gonna hyper dash off you. We got a lot of height there, so we're gonna do the one where we run on the roof instead. We're gonna swap over to float and jump and slow down a bit and do a charge jester dash into the checkpoint right before after we hit a death plane. That death plane won't stop us from hitting the checkpoint, so we skipped like a third of the stage. It's really cool. I love that skip. Then we're gonna hyper dash off that enemy, hit this rail regen break to gain back some of our speed, or some of our energy. We want a pretty full meter. And this whole stage's premise is that it's like real trippy, so we'll see some pretty cool visuals, but for the most part, in some pretty maze-like places, we'll know where to go. We'll hyper dash off this enemy, very nice, and then we'll come up on this. Nice. We're zooming. And then here we have these little walls, which we have to defeat before we can go on through. And then right here we're gonna hit that energy bubble and dash right into the tree because I'm good at this video game. And we have one more hyper dash coming on up right here on this energy bubble. You wanna hit this, nice, and onto this rail. And boom. We're gonna just ride right into the end. You can see some of the visuals here are gorgeous. I love this stage. Definitely one of my favorite stages of the entire game. I didn't get the speed I needed there. Okay, we're just gonna... that's fine. You can gain a lot of speed at the ending by, you know, playing it well, but apparently I didn't. I don't know what I did wrong. But 208, oh, absolutely take that. That was a really good nighttime phenomena for no reset. And next, we have a few more stages. But I do... okay, cool. I got tagged on Discord, I don't know why. There we go. Oh well. We have Dropship Daybreak next, which Dropship Daybreak is another coin collection stage, but this one's a little bit different, a little bit more unique. Gonna immediately grab you, and then turn around behind us. It's also worth pointing out that these blue metal stages actually have a time limit. But here we're going to restart the checkpoint. We'll collect it as we're respawning, and then we get to get a better position. Ooh, a bit bubble. And another one of these walls here that block us off from, you know, a very useful part of the stage. This little dropship. We're going to come up to the top first. Mostly because it's a bit faster than going through the front. I'm gonna collect that extra bit bubble, why not? And then hop on up to this section. We're gonna hyper dash, well, not quite hyper dash, but you know, that's fine. We wanted to hyper dash off that enemy. Energy dash over to this blue coin, and then we'll magnet dash off you after, you know, hitting it. That's fine. And then boom, right into our last coin. You notice the outside there changed from nighttime to daytime, which is why that's called dropship daybreak. The dropship makes us turn to daybreak, nighttime, daytime, whee! Nighttime, Hysteria, which is this whole district, is quite a trippy one. Also, before this stage, flashing lights warning, it can look really disorienting when I'm going fast. Sorry. This stage is very fast, and I'm going to focus as Jedi explains it.
It's all about just momentum. There's not really any tricks except for a couple of magnet dashes, but essentially you're just using these Jester swipes to go really, really fast, and you just want to keep up that momentum as you keep swiping. It's every time you swipe, it adds to your speed. There is a speed cap, but we are at it for basically this entire stage. And we also skip those loops by jumping off to the side there, which is a little bit tricky, but once you get it down, it's not terribly inconsistent. And then here's one of the few magnet dashes that we do, or hyper dashes, and you just keep flying, and there's a few more bits that you can swipe through, and the end is just after this tunnel. It's actually a very quick stage when you do it correctly.
And I did it mostly correctly. I missed the one hyper dash, but a 45-second... Oh, I'll take that. I'm very happy with how that went. Yeah, no, Heaven Park is one of those stages that when you hit it right, it just feels so satisfying. It's also a really cool stage visually because it's basically 2 laps. I don't know why I went into this hole. I did not mean to go into this stage. I was kind of autopiloting. We'll see this stage later, though. It's fine. Actually, you know what? Why not? Let's just go ahead and do it. Who cares? So Endless Hall has a very funny glitch in it. I'm gonna call it a glitch. It feels like it's a glitch.
I'd say it's a glitch.
Yeah, it involves float. We'll see it in a bit, but they're called float clips. You can kind of guess what they do. First, though, we have all of these. Oh wait, I don't have cloud shot actually. This might have been a mistake. Oh well. So we're gonna parry this enemy after swapping to float, and we're gonna homing attack it a bunch, and we're out of bounds now. And we're gonna come over to these little boosters. There's a way to get all the way to the ending of that stage. I don't know how to do it, so I don't do it. But we still skip a lot of the stage by doing that. We're not going as fast though, so, you know, quite unfortunate. Maybe we can still, you know, never mind, we hit the flames. I hate those things. But it's all good. So, just more of these walls to destroy. One more, and then we'll be at the end of this stage. And then after this, we're going to go into some of those combat stages that we skipped earlier. Because we have enough bits to do to unlock some nice abilities as we go into the goal there. You skip a mandatory combat sequence by curving all the way around. That isn't just for, you know, looks. We do skip a fight there. That was a good Endless Hall because I hit the clip. That float clips are useless in every other stage. That is the only one. But we're going to hop into the shop real fast to pick up 2 items. One is Hyper Surge here. Hyper Surge is going to be very, very helpful in combat sequences. And then we're going to pick up, where are you? I don't know why I exit out of that menu. Cloud Shot. Cloud Shot is a DLC power-up because this game gets regular updates. That was added to 1.1, which is the patch we're playing on. And then we're going to do Balloon Fiesta. Balloon Fiesta is a very short stage that is just basically 2 hyper dashes. I like this stage a lot, but it got cut out just because Endless Hall is a bit too long for the Endless, or for the any percent route. Can I save this? Is my question. Oh, I could have, but I fell. Okay, we'll try that again. But yeah, I love this stage. It's one of my favorites, but it did get cut out just because. That's awkward. We're gonna come back to you, I guess. It got cut out just because Endless Hall is kind of long. Okay, well, we're restarting again because I died. Oh well. We'll do this one more time. There we go. And then this ending here actually has some pretty funny tricks that we can do if we hit them. So, okay, we're going to collect enough energy to do a hyper dash, and then we're going to restart from checkpoint because I want to show this off. So that mandatory combat sequence can be skipped by just flying on through. And then we have a second one right before the end of the goal, and we're going to try to skip it. Oh, that might be bad, actually. Oh, well. There's a backup we can do. It's fine. So we're going to charge a... Nah, never mind. Okay, that's fine. Let's see. Oh, we already cleared that. Cool. That's fine. So we might just collect enough for one more energy dash, then restart the checkpoint. That's chillin'. There's a backup there we can do if we, you know, do it right, but it's a bit hard. Basically the same stuff that we do in Hysteria, Nighttime Phenomena. Ugh. I'm cringing. We're just gonna kill these guys, why not? We're spinning a bit too long in here. There we go. Whatever. Bad Balloon Fiesta. That you can see part of the reason it got cut out now. It's a kind of punishing stage if you mess up. Not very easy ways to back it up, but all is good. You would have had to see it anyways. So, let's see. I think I want to do throwback first because I don't have spin charge. I want to do throwback first. Throwback is the boss for Hysteria, and the whole premise behind this is that you're fighting 3 bosses from Spark the Electric Jester 2, which Spark knows none of them, so you can see down in the bottom right, all of them are going to be question mark, except one guy named Fark question mark. Otherwise, Jedi, you want to explain what's going on here, because this level's hard.
Yeah, so the reason we're doing this now is because beating it gives you, I think, like 400 bits. I'm not sure if that's the right number. But essentially, what we're going through here is just keeping up that combo meter because it does not reset between the boss fights. And if you keep it at around 1.9, which is the max, you actually go through it very quickly, but it's rather hard to do that because these boss fights are not that easy. And, but yeah, essentially you're just switching between heavy and light combos to keep up your combo meter, and if you're at that 1.9, you can do certain combos that just do the most damage possible, because your combo meter doesn't really go down if you're not switching between the two, it just won't go up. So once you're at that max, you can just spam the highest damage, and you'll get a lot of damage done doing that and beat it fairly quickly.
Yeah, and then after we defeat those 3, we actually have a secret 4th. This is Shadow Double, which we actually know this guy, apparently. We have saved up enough energy to just instantly Hyper Surge. Hyper Surge is an ability that just creates a big explosion. Has some unintended side effects, though, that we'll get into late in the run. But we're going to do this first and then hop into some of the combat abilities, or combat stages that we skipped over, because we can now buy the spin charge, which will be helpful for one stage. Well, actually all 3, but, you know, we'll get there. So, we're going to hop into Canyon Zero. This is a unique stage because it is the only raid stage. Raid stages have you hitting a certain score requirement by destroying property or killing enemies. Spark said that property damage is okay. He's a little criminal. Otherwise, we're just going to hop on through. Destroy all these enemies and this property. You also may see a score multiplier at the top right. We're trying to get this up to, I believe, around 13 times, but I might be wrong about that. I wanted to kill you, thank you. But yeah, once we get up to 13 times, we're gonna come on over to this guy, and boom. That is the exits open. Just hit him with the Hyper Surge, and we get the score requirement just fine. And then next we have Beatdown Tower, which is just combat, honestly. You can see some of the uses of Spin Charge here, where Spin Charge is just an ability where if you hold down what is it, light attack? Or no, I think it's the heavy attack button. I don't know. I play on PlayStation and it doesn't give me PlayStation controller prompts, so I couldn't tell you. We'll do that big ol' spin attack where all of the enemies nearby will get damaged. Thank you for somehow surviving that. Otherwise, this is great time for another donation or two.
All right, well, I definitely have a donation or two. So first off, we have $10 from Big Al TX, assuming that's Texas, but maybe not, who says, Jedi is my favorite streamer, smiley face. Got a $10 anonymous donation saying, amazing run, speed to the max, also shout out to CMM. Thank you. Stay awesome, love OTB. And then lastly, we have a $100 donation from Falcolini. Thank you so much. There's no comment, but thank you so very much. It was nice seeing you last week. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, so that is the beatdown tower finished up. And unfortunately, we're going to do the same thing, but like on a train instead of a big old elevator. Because we have a district, I believe it's District 6, that we're gonna, District 4, that we're gonna beat up some people. Protest Prison does something where everyone is a different, every stage is a different district. It's hard to keep up with, so it's real weird.
Yeah, but, you should just refer to them by what you do in the stage.
Yeah, the nice thing is that all of them are pretty different, so, you know, we can do that, but yeah, I don't know, this is just more combat. I don't know, I assume we don't have any donations. Want to put the next incentive?
Sure.
We ball.
So currently, our next incentive is a random boss sizes toggle for the Metroid Prime randomizer. We already have small Samus as our default, so things are going to get really funky pretty soon. Right now, we are at $110 out of $300 that we need for that. And then the other active incentive going on right now is our first milestone, which is a bonus game, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe by Peas SMB, who's going to be doing the latest wave of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC. We need to raise a total of $750 for that, all together, cumulatively. And right now, we are at, what, 587, I want to say? So we're getting close.
Sheesh.
So please keep the donations coming in.
Yeah.
I'll pop that link in chat for you. You can head to our Tiltify page, and do not click just donate, or else you won't be able to put your stuff towards donation incentives, which stinks.
Yeah. So here on Airstrip Madness, I hate this stage recently. It also hates me recently. We're gonna climb up this big X wall like we did in Roadway Rally, but instead we're gonna jump through because we have to do another gravity clip. This time with Float, because she's the one that lets us climb over this while saving a dash, and we get to now go out of bounds. And this is a good spot to talk about wall dashes. We have wall jumping, and we also can wall run, but what happens if you combine a down dash and a wall jump? Well, you see it right here. We're zooming. You'll see this very few places because the reason that we can't do it a lot is we need a lot of space for it. Just so happens that that new strat allows us to run out of bounds towards this big old airplane. Don't do this at home. Please go through TSA. I do not want people getting arrested. At least not for TSA violations. Jesus, you can aim a little bit higher. But yeah, no, we're just gonna clip on through that airplane using another gravity clip, and off we go into the cockpit to, I don't know, I've never been in an airplane cockpit. What do you do in there? I have no idea. Next we have 3 pretty punishing stages that we're gonna hope to get pretty good times on. First and foremost, we have 2-stage liftoff. If Jedi, you would like to explain what's happening here, because I gotta focus.
Yeah, so this stage we just collect some energy right there and do lots of these rail swipes, which is basically just jumping and then swiping into the bits and then getting back on the rail. It gives a lot of speed. Normally you cannot bit swipe while you're on the rail. And then the fastest strat, which is very inconsistent and was not done here, is you hit that quarter pipe and then spam Cloud Dash, and you get just enough height to get all the way to the end. It's incredibly inconsistent, and this strat is actually much easier to do, and you only lose about 8 to 10 seconds usually. But essentially, you just hyper dash right into the end.
Kind of depends on how much height you get off that first quarter pipe. I did it bad, so I lost around probably 15 seconds. But if you do it well, you don't lose too much time.
Yeah, luckily there are 2 backups right there, so just depending on how much height you get is what you do.
And then this next stage is in space, because the 2-stage liftoff was us getting on the rocket. We are now in space. Don't ask me why a place that is apparently an airport has a spaceship. But of course we have reduced gravity. We also have limited oxygen, so we need to do this next strat quickly if you'd like to explain what's going to happen here.
So yeah, right here, since we have reduced gravity, that means that a hyper dash right there can give us a lot of height, and then we use Cloud Dash to get even more height. And
actually, that wasn't even a hyper dash.
Yeah, it was just a magnet dash, and usually you do a hyper dash, but hey, this works.
Also not a hyper dash, or a magnet dash, I just cloud shot. I tried to cloud dash, but it didn't work. Yeah, no.
Height here.
No. I'm not gonna try it. Yeah, so the typical strat is to do a hyper dash. I'm playing with a new strat that I found the other day because, can I still make this? No, I want to say no. I'm just gonna restart that. I'm just gonna try to do a cloud dash, which is a hyper dash, except instead of energy dashing, you do a cloud shot, and it gives you a ton of height and not a lot of speed. You get the point. The dashes we do are, you know, different variations of kind of the same technique. I don't think I hit it there either, which is unfortunate. Maybe if I swap to float, this'll work. Okay. We're just gonna do the basic energy dash strat and see if that works. Yeah, no, this stage sucks. It's at the end of a very long run where if you mess it up, you're looking pretty rough. It's hard. It's not only a difficult strat to do, but it's inconsistent. There's no good backups, and in all levels, it's worse because we have to complete this stage. So yeah, you guys did the right thing torturing me. Typically in marathons, I have a backup in District 79, which you'll see later. But you know, I can't do that if it's all levels. There we go. That's the hyper dash, and we should be good to soar on up. Quite a lot of speed going up there. Just to be safe, I'm gonna grab that. That little oxygen bubble will increase the amount of oxygen time that I can get, and into the goal. That's fine. I'll take it. We didn't spend too much time there, but we did lose like a minute and a half. My current PB loses a minute and a half there as well, and whew, it's rough. That stage is just hard, and it's being swapped in is frustrating. Next up, we have Mayday Midday, though, which is frankly pretty simple. It's just one of those gravity clips, which I don't mind at all, at least most of the time. Sometimes gravity clips can be real annoying, but, you know. We're gonna try to build up a bunch of energy on the way there, though. Because this stage has a little bit of a faster strat using float here. If we can get the clip out, that was close. So we're gonna just float on into the goal with float, just like that. The old strat was that you jumped out, went into another tube, and then did another clip. It's really annoying. Doing one of them is hard enough, doing two cleanly is also pretty rough. Thankfully, though, got it first try pretty easily. And next, we're gonna go into Mecha Madness, which Mecha Madness is, you can probably guess. It's a big ol' mech fight. This game kind of does what it wants. This stage's strat is to just jump over and over again, and every now and then I throw in a grounded heavy attack because it gets us closer to... I'm trying real hard to read that name, I don't know it. Low graphic settings does not treat this fight very well. Interestingly, we still have face mark active during this fight, which you wouldn't think so because, you know, we literally aren't playing as Spark, but we do, and that can deal extra damage to the boss as well. But I'll take that. That was a, like, 30-minute time. And look away to reduce lag. Also, shout out to Spark in the top right doing his little, you know, mech control stuff. That stuff is actually, like, dynamic in real time, and you can see, like, the background and stuff. It's kind of cute how much attention to detail this game has. Skip a few more cutscenes that explain some really cool lore. This game's story is actually pretty cool. I don't know if you know it at all, Jedi, but yeah, no, this
very
game's
cool.
story is
Towards
cool.
the end, very much gets out there, but I do like it a lot.
Yeah, no, it goes wild.
What just happened?
Yeah, no, it's very confusing as well. And here we have a new tutorial. I didn't hit that. I can't do anything. I needed to hit the ground there. I don't know how I didn't. That's fine, though. But this is fall damage. Fall damage is pretty straightforward. If you fall for too long, you die. Please, can I get through this tutorial once in my life without any problems? I don't know why I struggle on this stage, but I do. But
it's surprisingly tough.
Surprisingly. Yeah, no, sometimes down dashing just takes away your jump, and it's really annoying. But, you know, that's a 42-second fall damage tutorial. Regardless, fall damage is just falling for too long. If that red meter runs out, you die. You can cancel it by jumping, dashing, charge dashing, or landing on a slope. And we're going to do none of that because of a trick known as infinite fall. We'll see it here in Deep Descent. Imagine this stage is a big old tower, except instead of starting at the bottom, you start at the top, and it's your goal to work your way down, just climb down each floor to the very bottom. Well, we're not gonna work our way very much at all because we have the infinite fall. We're gonna first climb, charge on up to full energy here, and then we're going to fall on down, right down here, hit a few down dashes, and Jedi, if you'd like to explain this as I kind of concentrate because this trick is kind of hard.
Yeah, so the infinite fall, we're now using that hyper surge again for an unintended use that was mentioned earlier, where essentially when you have the full energy and you can use it, you can pop it while you're in midair and then cancel it using the shield tech, which you use like for parrying and such, and it doesn't use any of your energy, so you can just keep doing it forever. Makes the stage very quickly, and also the next stage very quick compared to the normal strat. However, that's not necessarily much quicker anymore, but anyways, it's a lot easier.
Yes.
It does require lots of concentration though, because one mistake and well, you die and have to restart the entire thing. And it is about 2 minutes straight of this on this stage, about 5 minutes on the next stage. Unfortunately, this tech was patched out in the next update 1.2, which is why there is another strat for the next stage now, which is not too much slower. But this is one of the coolest strats in this game, and a little bit sad that it got patched out, but it is very cool and very unique.
I can't believe I found another infinite fall enjoyer, because a lot of the casual player base does not like this strat at all, because they actually like the stages, which, yeah, me too. And the next stage is my favorite video games stage of all time, but, you know, that's fine. We'll survive. We'll be good. As Jedi mentioned, 1.2 patched this out, but 1.2 is actually faster than the current 1.1 world record by 3 minutes, I believe. And this is, one, because Squish is like a cracked gamer, and very few people can play to his level, and two, because for what Hyper Surge got kind of nerfed in, effectively, a different ability called Overcharge got buffed in. So this ability isn't used at all in 1.2 because it costs 1,000 bits, and instead we buy 1.2 buys Overcharge, which just uses all of your energy bar, much like Hyper Surge would, to instead give you a huge damage buff, which helps out a lot on a lot of the combat stages, and that's probably why 1.2 is faster. One day I'll swap to it when I feel like learning the next stage and this stage, but I kind of already did learn this stage at one point in time. For context, by the way, these next two stages are supposed to be combined about 30 minutes long. This stage is supposed to be around 7, At least that's what I got casually. I can't remember the speedrun medal, because this game has speedrun medals built into it, where you get a medal if you complete them fast enough, those little golden diamond stars. I can't remember the speedrun time for it,
I think
but
it's somewhere around 5.
Yeah, it's very, very long. And this is the last stage, at least of any percent. We're playing all levels, so after this stage we'll come back to some future levels, but this stage is Utopia Shelter. This is supposed to be a huge gauntlet, an absolutely massive level where it tests everything you know. And we're going to, instead, Infinite Fall. Mostly because it's easier. There is a very cool route for this stage, casually. Also, that was a fantastic flint fight. Oh my lord. But yeah, there's a really, really cool speedrun route that doesn't use Infinite Fall. I'm bad at it. I'm also playing on 1.1, so why would I do it? But it is so cool. I highly recommend going and checking out Squish's IL world record of this on 1.2, because it's so sick. It's just... Yeah, no, this stage is massive, and you'll see that as we get to do the Infinite Fall. First, though, we have to build up energy, which is why we used the Hyper Surge in the last fight. It won't transfer our energy, so we just use it to defeat Flint quicker, because it won't transfer anyways. Otherwise, we're looking for energy pickups of any sort. Otherwise, we'll just defeat all of these enemies. Alright, it looks like we didn't get any energy pickups, but that's no biggie. Next, we'll come on over to this wall and do one last wall run and gravity clip. Hopefully get it first try, because this one's not that hard. Good enough. That was kind of short hop, but you know, that's fine. Then run along this little stretch of land. We're out of bounds right now, and we're running towards that big wall that's very pixelated because I'm on low graphics settings. But soon enough, you'll realize, yeah, no, this wall doesn't have collision, because why would it need a collision? And then we're gonna jump out of bounds to this, and you can see kind of some of this stage's size. And we're gonna fall out of bounds the whole way down. In some sense of the word, I'm really happy that we don't actually play Utopia Shelter as intended, because I think this stage is something that you really should just experience for yourself. Looking at it, you can see this thing is massive, and I think it has a ton of amazing twists and turns and stuff, and it's my favorite video game level of all time, so in a sense, I'm actually really happy that you guys don't get to see it, because that means you can go play this game for yourself and experience it. Because this stage is absolutely amazing. Otherwise, I'm going to focus, so I don't lose 5 minutes on my run. If Jedi, you have any thoughts, you can share them.
I do agree. This is one of, if not my favorite stages in any game. It's so incredibly long, and just the feeling when you start it and just throughout the whole thing, it feels like there's just a big sense of scale to what you're doing. And like looking around and you just see a massive stage, and then parts of it are dark and you don't really know where you're going, and then you can see where you went from, and it's so huge. And a lot of the tech that you use, even casually, is very interesting. And there's lots of jumps and such that you don't get first try. You will not get first try. And there's a bunch of cool gimmicks and things that are placed here and there that I don't want to spoil too much, but it's a very interesting level to play the first time, and also after the first time, but especially the first time. And there's some very cool visual effects that we will get to see towards the end, but yeah, this is
there are even more that we don't get to see. It's awesome.
Many more. And yeah, it
go
does
play this game.
Basically everything that this game has. It's got rail stuff, it's got a bunch of big like dash jumps and things, and lots of cool tech that you can use.
Yeah. Go play this game. Seriously. Like, it's my favorite speedrun of all time, but it's also just one of my favorite games of all time. The feeling you get when you go through this game and play it well and start to learn its intricacies and start, you know, ILing or playing stages just because you think they're fun, think they're fast. It's exhilarating. It is one of the best 3D platformers of all time. Go play this game. Also, it's only $25 and was completely developed by one person with like a little bit of extra help. It's wild. This entire world you've seen from Spark 3 and hell, even the 2 other games are all developed by one guy, and I think that's truly amazing. The fact that he was able to make such an immersive environment. And such a compelling game, because this game is just so cool. I do love this game to bits. It's awesome. Anyways, host, if you would like to read messages for the next minute or so, we'll be following.
Sure. I've got a couple donations for you guys. We have $10 from Nimputs, who says
Hi,
Spark
Nim.
is so cool, which, yes, correct. We have $3 from Limmy, who says, I like when the number is big. And then we have $3 from Tempest Mask 1000, who says, good afternoon, everyone. $3 for the last day of the 3rd month in the 3rd Spark game. Claws always knocks this run out of the park, even if I can only bring myself to watch so much due to needing to finish. But hey, all for a fantastic Claws. Good luck, Claws, and thanks, Lake Feppard. Feppard? Did I say that right? Lake
Yes,
Feppard?
Lake Feppard.
Okay.
That's the dev of the game.
Okay, cool.
Amazing.
I didn't want to ruin their name. And with that, we are actually at a little bit over $600. So that means we're only less than 150 away to our Mario Kart 8 Deluxe bonus game. And we also have that incentive for the random boss sizes of Metroid Prime, which is now at a total of 126 out of 300. So almost halfway there.
Yeah, get there. We're coming up on the end of the fall. You can see this little platform with the orange stripes there. You can read one more, probably.
Okay, I just wanted to quickly remind everybody what we're here for. We're raising money all weekend for the Equality Texas Foundation. The Equality Texas Foundation it seeks to educate, motivate, and activate all Texans to end discrimination based on sexual orientation, gender identity, and gender expression. Incidentally, today is the International Transgender Day of Visibility, which was not planned for this marathon's dates. It was a happy coincidence, so thanks everyone for your support.
I totally thought that was planned.
No, it totally was not. I was like, oh, that's a thing, okay. So yeah, thank you everyone for your donations and your support. Whether you're hanging out, retweeting us, donating, whatever you're doing, we greatly appreciate it.
Yeah. Good cause, good event. We took the safety checkpoint. We didn't need it because we have this long rail boosting segment. This thing is terrifying to do if you're on world record pace. It is nerve-wracking. But now we want to hold our energy, which doesn't even matter because this is the second spot you'll see while dashing in, where we dash on the wall and then wall jump and down dash at the same time to build up a ton of speed. This is typically the only place you get to see it, but we added it into Airstrip Madness with that new route. So you get to see it twice, which I think is perfect because this strat is way too cool to only be used once. But you may notice some of the visual glitches. That isn't my computer or anything. I promise. My computer might melt down in this stage. It isn't, but it could. But that's all intentional for reasons that story stuff we won't get into. But yeah, no, it is intentional. It makes this last section pretty awesome running through it. Also, the music is supposed to be completely different, but we skipped the music trigger to swap it, so you get to hear the awesome breakbeat stuff that this game offers. Again, this game's music is incredible. Go listen to it. There's a lot of tracks that you won't get to hear. And then we just have one more infinite fall, which I maybe should have taken that safety checkpoint, but hopefully I won't need it. This fall is not 30 seconds long, or not 5 minutes long, it's only 30 seconds long. We're just falling into the void. And there we go, chill. And then we run into the distance, and we're looking for a few blocks that hopefully will appear somewhere. There we go. There they are. And into the hole. Never mind. I missed the slam dunk. It's fine. And that's Utopia Shelter, an 8-minute stage. Casually, that stage is supposed to be anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes long. It's a behemoth. It's awesome, and I'm glad that you guys didn't get to see that much of it, because when you play it, you'll be just as amazed as I was. But we're coming up on 2 last boss fights. These boss fights are not timed, just so you know. These bosses are only done because the rules for all levels does not mean say that you have to finish with Utopia Shelter. You can finish with whatever stage you want. As long as you've beaten all the stages, you're fine. So we use that to take advantage of something after Utopia Shelter that you'll see pretty quickly. This is the linework fight in the meantime. We're fighting 3 of these little linework beasts enemies. We have Reaper, which is this guy that just got taken out. We had Beast before, and now we have linework Spark, which, story stuff again. Basically, Spark's all nervous and scared and stuff. If I could hit him, please. So we gotta beat it out of him, I guess, which, yeah, okay, sure, Spark 3. But, please, there we go. We'll also use Fark's static mode, because we're not playing as Spark, notably, we're playing as Fark, to do a little bit of extra damage, heal up a little bit. We need something to use that energy for. And also, notably, we still have Face Mark during these 2 battles for some reason. I don't understand why, but considering. But we're coming up on the final boss, and once again, not time, because we still have 4 levels to complete. But, yeah, this is an alien, I guess. We have these little Clarity people on our side. This boss's name is Centralis, Claritas Centralis. We're not going to go into the story significance of this character, but there is a plushie of those little small characters right now. The little guys, little girls right here. Go pick that up if you want to. I don't know. I have my Spark plush, and I don't really care for Clarity that much, so I'm going to stick with Spark only. But yeah, we're going to defeat this boss, and then please, there we go. Time would typically be, in any percent at least, when the screen fades to black. That's not today, so we're going to skip through the cutscenes that play after this boss, and then you'll see why we save some of these stages for last. So we're going to skip through this cutscene. I do want to showcase this cutscene. We're going to show off some of it anyways. 1, because the song bangs, and 2, because there's an actually playable Friday Night Funkin' mod of this. Try it, I guess. It's kind of fun. I'm not a rhythm gamer. Otherwise, we're just going to skip through the rest of the cutscenes, and we have Fark and Sparks. These are 2 new characters, and additionally, we got 5,000 bits from beating the game, which means that we can buy Fark here. Fark is a very, very useful. We're going to replace him with Float because of something known as a Fark or Reaper clip. They work with 2 different characters, but we're going to do him with Fark. First and foremost, we have Lost Ravine. Lost Ravine here is pretty straightforward. It's a big old rail grinding stage, in all honesty. There is a strat to where this stage becomes kind of any percent viable. I don't like doing it. I recently I swapped it out at first, and then I was like, this stage sucks, so I swapped it back out. So, no thanks. In the meantime, we're gonna come on up here, and we're just gonna clip through that wall. Basically, the reason that works is because Fark and Reaper both have something called an invulnerable dash, so whenever they dash, they can actually dash through objects. One other thing Fark has is 2 dashes. You can see, boom, boom. He can dash twice in the air, and we're going to use that quite a bit for some added mobility. But those clips out of bounds don't work on 1.2, which is another reason to play this run in 1.1, because otherwise some of these stages get very long. For example, District 9 here. District 9 is a stage that you would never see in any speedrun route. This stage is just long, but at least, you know, without Fark or Reaper. So we're gonna hop on these rails, and we're going to jump on this little uphill, which will bring us over here. We're gonna hop on over to you. We're gonna swap over to Fark, hit this, hit a cloud shot, clip on through you, on to this railing, and this skips one of those big auto-scrollers that we saw earlier in... Uh-oh. I somehow saved that. I have no idea how. That's fine. The important thing is that I saved it. Either way, we're gonna hop on through some of those walls, and that skips one of those auto-scrollers we saw in Protest Prison earlier. And then we're going to... I wanted to hyper dash off you, but oh well. We can just hit some magnet dashes, that's fine. And then we can't skip both of them, unfortunately, but what we can do is just sit still for the next minute or so. Yeah, it's really 40 seconds, because we won't hit any of the flames or anything. Also, man, all of this level is very loud because of all the water and the mechanical noises. I can't hear myself speaking right now. This is a great time for me to do my shoutouts, though. So, shout out first, foremost, Spark community. Also, Jedi for joining me on commentary. Appreciate it. Spark is cool. Spark is cool, and you gamers know it. Also, shout out to... I don't know, kind of it. Shout out to staff for putting on this event, having me on. I love showing off Spark. I love showing off most games I run, so I appreciate it. Otherwise, I don't have that many shoutouts. Not this time around. So, Jedi, is there anyone you want to shout out since you're here?
I'd like to shout out Shovel for showcasing this beautiful game.
I'll take it. But yeah, no, we're coming up on our last two stages. District 79 is actually pretty cool. I like this stage. We're going to start out by going through this little section, coming to our right, and hitting this energy bubble. We're going to swap over to Fark, collect these energy capsules, and then not fight these guys at all. Okay. Thank God for Fark's double dash, because, oh god, I would be dead right there. We can clip through that wall with a Jester swipe, which we call those Jester swipe clips. They're not super commonplace in this run, but we use them sometimes. And we're going to come on over to this wall because it lets us clip on out once again. And then we're going to hop on over using two of those energy dashes, 4 of them actually, I can count. Destroy some of that property for a little bit of extra energy, and then we're gonna try our best to... No, I was so close! We're gonna just restart the checkpoint then, there we go. So we're gonna hop on down here. You can actually skip that sequence by just going fast enough, but it's really, really difficult. The world record on this IL is stupid because it's by me, and it's terrible. It has a terrible beginning, but I just got a really good ending, and so it you know, nullified out. Someone please beat it. It's not that hard. I just don't want to do it. But that's all 4 of those mandatory fight sequences skipped. And then we have Aviator Highway, which I'm going to just point out. Yes, we unlocked another stage after Utopia Shelter. We're not going to play it, though, because it's part of the DLC. For all levels, we're playing non-DLC stages, so that is mostly just the first DLC, which was added in 1.1, where it's all Spark 2 stages. Because this man, the dev of this game really went... You know, Spark 3 doesn't have enough stages already. It has 43, by the way. We should add, like, 14 more for free. Yeah, no, this game's sick. Go play it. Oh, come on. But yeah, no, here in Aviator Highway, it's a bunch of running for about 50 seconds to a minute. Because we can dash through those big X walls. Otherwise, this stage is massive. Grinding this level for record is really annoying because you have to wait like 10 to 13 seconds between resets. It's really annoying. And Jedi can tell you all about that.
Yeah, I have run this stage quite a few times, and just waiting for the stage to load is about half the time it is of running.
But yeah, otherwise we just down dash, get a lot of speed. We're gonna turn on up this hill, and this hill houses our final goalpost. When we hit this goalpost is when time will be called. So, thank you all for joining me. Thank you for showing some love to Spark. Appreciate it. Spark is one of my favorite games of all time, and I was happy to showcase it. So that is time. That is Spark the Electric Jester 3. Thank you so much for having me. So, one last little wave bye to Spark, and with that, we've hit our 43 Freedom Medals. You can see all of the stages here, ignore this one, are complete. Thank you so much for having me, and thanks for watching, gamers. Appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of the marathon.
Hi everybody, we're back. Speed stuff for Trans Lives 2. That was Spark the Electric Jester 3 by shovelclaws. Thank you so much for that fantastic run that we got the all levels version of because of what do you call it? Because of your generous donations. Sorry, my brain skipped a beat for a second. I've got a couple of quick things to read to you and a couple of quick announcements. I have, let's see here. First, I've got $20 from Dead Drop Studios, who just says heart. Thank you so much. Dead Drop Studios, for anyone who was around last Speed Stuff for Trans Lives, generously donated some codes for their Outbreak games. They're kind of like Resident Evil. They're survival horror games. So definitely check them out if you like that type of game. They have a bunch of entries out there, but they're super cool. Thank you so much for supporting. And then we have $150 from Pi, who has no comment, but thank you so much for your extremely generous donation. We have $4 anonymous donation with no comment, but again, thank you very much. We have $5 from Tiger Festival. Thank you, Tiger. It was nice seeing you last week. And then we have $1 from Zoe Potato, who says, GGWP shovelclaws, great game. Thank you guys so much for all of your incredible donations. Because of that, we are we are killing it today. So let me update you. We met our first milestone. We've officially met the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe bonus game later today by P's SMB. So thank you guys so much for that. It's going to be a fantastic time. It is the newest wave of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Pass courses. So we got the Yoshi's Island course, DS Mario Circuit, DK Summit, a bunch of others. So that'll be coming a little later today. And then we also met the random boss sizes incentive for Metroid Prime Randomizer later today. That was $300, and you guys already cleared through it. So the Ginger Chris will be using that modifier today for Metroid Prime Randomizer. That is going to be a great time. Definitely do not miss that a little later today. Because of that, we have another incentive open. Tonight, we have Remorse the List coming up. A very interesting horror game that Astrid the Horror Girl is going to be playing for you. Really fast movement, really neat. I believe it came out only last year, so it's pretty new. We all thought the run was really cool, so we're really excited for her to show that off. If we are able to raise $500 between now and then for that incentive, we will upgrade the fatherless percent run, which is very funny, to any percent. Yeah, start getting your donations in for that. I think we can definitely make it. We're already at $783 so far, and that was our third run. So yeah, I think we can keep this going. Coming up next is going to be Gran Turismo 7 by Realm, who makes his triumphant return to SS4C. And then we've got a Mega Man block, but it's not your normal Mega Man block. It's a slightly strange, slightly cooler Mega Man block with Bratterfield. So while we set up the next run, which is, again, Gran Turismo 7 by Realm, stay tuned. Hang out with us. Thanks for being here. And we will catch you in a few minutes.